This Civic Media podcast is sponsored by UW Organ and Tissue Donation. Organ donations are desperately needed, and now is the right time to become an organ donor. Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. Go to heroicdeed.com.
December 7th, 2024. If it's 7 o'clock on Saturday morning, it's time for This Week in Waukesha. I'm your host, Downtown Donnie Brown, coming to you live and local from the office of former Alderman Don Paul Brown here in our beloved Banting Park neighborhood. I've got the mighty Max Martinson on the board there down in Radio City. Max, how are you this morning?
I'm doing okay. It was a long night, but we're here bright and early this morning. Sun's just starting to come up, so not much I can complain about.
I love it. I love it. So I have to move quickly here on today's agenda because we have our first guest on hold, and he's a very important city leader, so we don't want to keep him holding too long. But the Cookie Walk is today, and Kristy Witt from the South Band Boosters will be calling in later on in this hour. That starts at 9 o'clock, goes till 1. It's homemade cookies benefiting the South Band, and Kristy's going to tell us more about it. And again, that starts right after the show. So if you have the Civic Media app, you don't miss a minute of my show, and you get to the cookie walk in time. Second, we're acting locally, thinking globally, and we're going to be talking about a food drive to honor Brady Caproon, a Waukesha High School senior who died in a tragic accident last fall. And his great legacy of organizing food drives. We got sports and other great Waukesha news, including a big accolade for the black shirt players. City of Waukesha's Night of Lights was a big success last night. We'll be talking about that. And, of course, we've got the 62nd annual Christmas parade tomorrow. And the first person to talk about that is my successor in the city council, 1st District Alderman Mike Chrisien. Mike, are you there? Okay, so can you hear Mike, Max? Because I can't. I'm going to get the app on so we can communicate here.
Hello, Mike here.
Ah, there he is. Mike, are you there?
Good morning. You got Mike Chrisien here.
Alderman Mike Chrisien, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm really excited to be on the show today. Anytime when you call, I get really excited because I know we're going to talk about something really neat, not only in our neighborhood, but south where my daughter's also a student.
That's right.
So,
and
we got lots of stuff to talk about. And
we sure do.
We already started talking about the parade. That's downtown Waukesha, and that's at 4 o'clock. And it's a nice route this year. Starts at over by the Dreyfus Building, and it heads down through Main Street, and everything all be nice and blocked off. So if you think you're going to get a good spot to catch some candy at 4, you're going to want to be there about 3:30. And if you can't make it in person, and I truly hope you can, it's also live on WTMJ4.
Terrific.
So that's where my
usually I have the mayor, Sean Riley, coming in the day before the parade to promote what's going on. And unfortunately, he had some family obligations. So we're grateful that you could stand in his place, Mike.
Yeah.
And so this is your third year marching in the parade as Alderman. Is that correct?
It is. I've been in the parade many years with my scout troop and my Cub Scout pack, and I'm still very active in there, and they'll be in the parade as well. But I'll be walking with my first time with River the Fox. River the Fox made his debut in the 4th of July parade, but he was so popular, he had his own spot. But this year, he's marching with the Alders. I'm not sure if he's going to underhand softball pitch some candy, but either way, we will be.
Good. River the Fox is the new city mascot. Do I have that correctly?
You are correct. I should have described that. Everyone knows who River is, but he is a fox. He made his debut this past summer, and he's real easy to see because he looks like a fox, not like a good-looking man like yourself, just an actual fox,
Okay.
like a fox
Laid it
ensemble
on
with
thick.
a nice white shirt on. You'll see him.
Classic.
You'll
Well,
recognize
I can't wait
him.
to see him. So
Yep,
I'll
I
be
do
marching
believe
in the
we
parade
are.
too, Mike. I'll be with La Casa de Esperanza, where my wife works, and Maria Wadina will be on later in the show to talk about their involvement in the parade. I think we're in the caboose there. We're not up near the front like you prestigious alders are, but we'll be able to watch everybody for sure.
What a great organization. My scout troop helps there with their fundraiser every single year, and what a great program.
Nice.
And the behind-the-scenes thing, there is so much. On any event, it is very well staffed with volunteers, and it's just great. And I'm real glad to be behind the scenes and see all the stuff that goes on to make successful things happen.
Yeah, we're going to do, when Maria calls, we're going to do a little year in review, too, like all the great programs they have, the Weatherization, Center for Financial Stability, the Early Childhood Education Center, the villages, and, of course, the charter school, which is growing. So we're really looking forward to that conversation. But with you, Mike, what's new with the city, and how would you describe this year in terms of the city's growth and progress?
The city's growth and progress is really, we've done something new with our new city administrator, Tony Brown. Had some community outings. Tony Brown, he had several online and several in-person meet and greet for our strategic planning things, not only for the next couple years. Tony's plan was, let's get on board. Us alders, we don't know what the city wants entirely, let alone our neighborhoods, unless everybody participates. And this is an open forum to help us plan the strategic planning that's right on the city website.
Great.
What the people
so we can still participate
that they find important. Yes, yep. Rather than just saying, yeah, I would like this and I would like this, the people said, this is what we'd like, this is what we want our resources on. That's one of the big things, and obviously the Waukesha water leaf pickup has been somewhat successful. There are some growing pains in it with the new way we're doing it this year, and next year they're taking a lot of things and making many, many improvements to help cut down on some of the complaints that we've had.
Okay.
There's all sorts of stuff. I can keep talking all day about the city of Waukesha.
I was going to say the strategic plan. I'm glad you said that there's opportunities for interactive engagement, because I've spoken to you on a couple occasions about the opportunity we have with Rempe Farm, which is the new park space, and 42 acres. I'd love to. I've done a lot of traveling with my daughter's traveling softball team, and I'm seeing areas kind of like Waukesha in Minnesota and in the Kansas City area and in Western Illinois, and these big softball complexes. They bring in people from around the region, sometimes from around the country. We're talking hundreds of hotel nights. We're talking thousands of seats in restaurants filled over usually a 3 day period. And also some opportunity for great rental fees for a lot of these public park spaces where these tournaments take place. And I hope I can get a chance to chat with Tony on that and share more, because the models are out there. And I think Waukesha, with that new real estate we have, I think there's some really great opportunities to not only increase the greatness of our parks program, which is already there. It's already great. Fantastic. But also in terms of with some of the revenue challenges, we've got an opportunity to merge a public space, like public space like our park system, with opportunities to attract visitors and generate some taxable revenue year round. So
you brought up a great point. Not only Waukesha loves baseball, but it's very popular. Just look at the Dockhounds, how successful their program is out there. And my son was in the Blazer program, not to mention anyone, but just there are so many club-level sports in Waukesha Park and Rec. I mean, all three of my kids went through that, and baseball is always popular, just like soccer. There's always an opportunity, whether you can just do the Park and Rec or willing to do the club level from February to, I think, December, those club levels. So City of Waukesha does love its softball and loves its hardball. And from, like I say, a simple Park and Rec level, volunteers for that, all the way up to I'm just going to say the club level.
Yeah.
So the people like their baseball in the city of Waukesha.
They sure do. And we also love our Christmas parade. What does marching in the Christmas parade mean to you? I mean, you've done it a number of years in different capacities.
Well, at first I was always nervous. All those people are looking at you, but kind of you get to pick which side of the road you walk. You get to pick. We buy our own candy, and you want to throw it out enthusiastically, but you have to slide it to the youth, and not only just the youth, but the people young at heart also like their candy. So it's all. I started off nervous, but now it's just come so natural, and I love it. Being a teacher in 2 local municipalities is one of my jobs. You see so many people, also in Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. You see so many people. I'm over here, and then you just kind of then you got to find that. But it's just the overall excitement of yes, they don't. They're more excited about River the Fox and the candy that we have, but that it's just the turnout. And every year, particularly the weather's going to be great this year. But even when the weather is wind chill 0 or 5, people are bundled up, and they're out there, 3, 4, 5 deep on the sidewalk. But also brings people to downtown Waukesha. There's so many awesome stores downtown, and they're all open, obviously, every Saturday, but also during the parade. So it just brings in some revenue for downtown, and also finds out places where they can just get some unique items. So hot chocolate, spending time with family and friends, and just walking in the parade. It's just something I look forward to every year.
And I'll say when the parade was on that route that went through Wisconsin heading westbound, it was the year after the tragedy.
Yes.
And we were broadcasting right from the street. Yeah, we were able to connect with you and your fellow elders. What was really special, obviously, that parade in particular was very special. It was amazing, and each one has been. But the fact that every restaurant, there was not an open table anywhere after that parade, and it was a really great sign of support for the city and just carrying out the festivities that parade starts. So, First District Alderman Mike Chrisien, I want to thank you for joining us this morning. I know you got a class to teach this morning at WCTC, and I look forward to seeing you at the parade tomorrow.
Right now. I will definitely be there. And mention the Downtown Business Alliance has bingo cards. Fill those bingo cards out and get a prize.
I sure will. Sounds great. All right. Thanks again, Alderman Mike Chrisien. And we have so much more here on This Week in Waukesha on WAUK 540 AM and the Civic Media app.
You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
You're listening to This Week in Waukesha on WAUK 540 AM. And you're also listening to Waukesha's favorite son, Les Paul, with wife Mary Ford. The world is waiting for the sunrise, and I think it's peeking its way out here on what looks like another nice Saturday morning. It's been cold lately, but we've had a lot of sunshine, and that makes some of those really frigid days still livable, knowing that you got beautiful sun, and you can even muster up the layers of clothing and take the dog for a nice WALK. I have to spell it because Popsicle, my dog, is here in the living room, fortunately still sleeping. So we've been this is our second broadcast here from the physical office of former Alderman Don Paul Brown, and have not had any disruptions from our puppy, knock on wood. So acting locally, thinking globally, we have a food drive going on today and tomorrow, Saturday the 7th, Sunday the 8th, 12 to 4 at the Sunset Bowl parking lot. And this food drive is organized in honor of Brady Caproon, a Waukesha High School student who was an avid lacrosse player. He passed away Labor Day weekend in a very tragic UTV accident. Brady, get this, for all of his 17 years, hosted food drives in the community and helped feed the homeless. This young man, who taken way too early from us, he loved life and people. He would go out of his way to put a smile on someone's face and help those in need. And what better way to prove it than these food drives? There's pictures of previous food drives with Brady in it, and he's got cars filled with donated goods to feed those dealing with food insecurity. The proceeds from this food drive go to the food pantry serving Waukesha County. And full disclosure, I'm a board member, but I received this notice through the civic media outlet. A member of this team, Frankie, a friend of Brady's, who's helping organize this, sent us a last-minute email, and I'm so glad he did. I'm so glad that we could promote this. The items requested are cereal, peanut butter, pasta sauce, tuna, Spam, chicken, canned fruits, ready-to-eat soup, rice and other grains, in size 5 and 6 diapers. For the holidays, items requested include box stuffing, cream soups, canned yams, I just love saying that, gravy packets, box mashed potatoes, muffin or cookie mixes. So I'm really glad to see this, what looks like a new tradition starting. Excuse me. I'm going a little too fast here, Max. You got to slow me down. But this is really special. What a great way to honor a legacy. Again, a young man taken way too soon from us. And what did he like doing for fun? Organizing food drives to help people, families struggling with food insecurity. And this is a very real thing. Later on in the show, I'll be playing a song from the very first Band-Aid in 1984, which was intended to help people dealing with a major famine in Ethiopia. And one of the founders or co-founders of the Band-Aid program, which led to Live Aid, Bob Geldof, an Irish musician. The band was called the Boomtown Rats. You're too young to remember this, Matt, but the big hit was Tell Me Why I Don't Like Mondays. So look it up on YouTube. But one thing that makes me proud to be Irish is that as descendants, as famine survivors, the Irish give more private resources to fighting worldwide hunger than any other country in the world. And yes, there's poverty and there's hunger everywhere. And there is a 40th anniversary Band-Aid video song that was produced, and it includes some of the original artists like Bono, and as well as some of the current artists that have a chance to participate. But yes, it's a thing, worldwide hunger, but there's also a local thing. I remember when I first signed on to volunteer with the food pantry to serve on the board. This was going on almost 2 years ago now. I'd met Karen Treadwell, the longtime executive director. And as I was walking out from the meeting, there were a line of people wait as a Friday to get their packages. And these people are just like you and me. They were dressed in nice enough clothes. They looked like they were middle-income families. And so it's everywhere. And that's a favorite statesman of mine used to say, in a society with our kind of wealth, poverty is evil. But especially food insecurity for families that are making supposedly livable wages. and especially in this holiday season, I hope you can open up your hearts and support this great food drive in honor of Brady Caproon. Again, that's 12 to 4 today and tomorrow at the Sunset Bowl parking lot. And I think it's especially this holiday season, please, keep those families in your hearts and help them so they can have a nice Christmas meal for their kids, as well as be able to sustain themselves through, especially here in this cold season. So, and I think what we can achieve here at the local level, too, can have a ripple effect in terms of how we address hunger around the U.S. and around the world. And, again, I want to really thank Frankie for reaching out to Civic Media yesterday and also for calling me and sharing this this really, really cool, colorful flyer with pictures of Brady on it from previous food drives. And, again, asking you, everyone, one more time, please get out and support this food drive in honor of Brady Caproon. Today and tomorrow at the Sunset Bowl parking lot, noon to 4 o'clock. So, in talking about acting locally, thinking globally, it really is a great example. This young man, this great legacy that Brady has left us, and knowing that his spirit continues to live on to this very meaningful charity. So, and speaking of charities, we've got a cookie walk to talk about on the other end of this first hour. Kristy Witt will be calling in. I want everyone to mark their calendars, especially you, Max, for December 21st. Our very own Pete Schwaba from Nightlife will be he'll be my guest, our call-in guest, to talk about the greatest Christmas movies of all time, as well as movies out now that he highly recommends, and so much more here. More parade activities here on This Week in Waukesha, WAUK 540 AM, and the Civic Media app.
Dear one, the world is waiting for the sunrise. Every little rosebud is covered with dew, and my heart is calling for you. The thrush on high, his sleepy mate is calling, and my heart is calling you.
You're an organ donor, right? Well, here's a tragic fact. Approximately 20 people die each day waiting for precious donated organs. You could make a life-saving decision simply by getting that important dot on your driver's license. That little dot shows those who need to know that you've made a decision to donate organs at a critical time. Go to heroicdeed.com to learn more about the importance of organ donation and how you can make your wishes known. Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. heroicdeed.com.
They got cars big as bars, they got rivers of gold. Put the windows right through you, it's no place for the old. When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome,
You were pretty queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they held out for more.
Sinatra was swinging, all the junk they were singing. We kissed on the corner, then danced through the night. The boys of the NYPD choir were singing, go away, babe.
You're pretty queen of New York City. Hey, we're back on This Week in Waukesha, and as many of my loyal listeners know, that my favorite Christmas song, I believe the greatest Christmas song of the 20th century, The Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues with Kirsty MacColl, and remembering one of my heroes, Shane McGowan, on the first anniversary of his passing, which was last Saturday. But, yeah, sorry, no apologies. You're going to be hearing that, plus some other great Christmas and holiday songs throughout the month. And that one's my favorite. And speaking of favorite Christmas time or holiday pastimes, we've got Kristy Witt on hold. She's part of the Waukesha South Band Boosters, and they're talking about their big event today, the Cookie Walk, taking place at Waukesha South starting at 9, right when the show ends. Again, if you have the Civic Media app, you don't miss a minute of my show, and you make the cookie walk just in time. Kristy, how are you this morning?
I'm good. Good morning, Don. How are you?
Is she there, Max?
Oh, can you hear me?
Kristy, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
How we doing here? A little.
She's here. I don't know
Ah,
why
here she
you
is.
can't hear her, though.
Terrific. Tell us about the cookie walk, please.
Yes, thank you. Good morning. Thank you.
I can hear you now.
for
Yep.
having me
Through,
on the
actually, I have the
podcast.
app on,
Okay,
so I
good.
can hear you. So go ahead.
Good. Good. I agree with you, though. That's one of my favorite Christmas songs as well. But yes, our cookie walk is today at Waukesha South, like you said, from 9 to 1. It is an annual tradition at South that's been happening for several years, but is really growing into more of a community event.
Another Pokes fan. All right.
We have. What was that?
Another Pokes fan. All right.
So the event raises money for all of the band programs at Waukesha South. That includes our jazz band, symphonic wind and percussion, concert band, marching band, and color guard. We're raising money for private lessons where we bring in special instructors for instrument repairs, competitions, transportation, and more. And the event's great. We actually have lots of our black shirt families and community members that donate tons of homemade cookies and treats. We could not do this event without them. We thank everyone who volunteers for the event and donates sweets. And I'll tell you, I got to preview the sweets last night when we were setting up, and everything looks amazing. I can't wait to shop myself. So the event is today from 9 to 1 in the cafeteria at Waukesha South. You want to enter right inside the field house doors off of Tenney Avenue. And you want to come early for the best selection. I promise you, we have people who attend this event every year, and they're lining up before the doors even open at 9. So you want to come for the early for the best selection. The price is $10 per pound, and we provide the containers. We also have a variety of specialty treats that can be purchased separately, including caramels and pies and holiday candies, and even some homemade holiday dog biscuits. We are accepting cash and credit card payments today. And as I mentioned before, it isn't just a cookie walk. It's really grown into a fun community event. The kids can meet with Santa from 9 to 11, and you can take as many photos as you like. There will also be make and take craft kits available for purchase. And our South Jazz Ensemble will be playing holiday classics from 9:30 to 10. And we're introducing a really fun opportunity for kids to become junior marching black shirts. They can come play along with our jazz ensemble, practice twirling a color guard flag, and even try out some percussion instruments. We're going to also have hot cocoa, coffee, and water available for purchase for anyone who wants to hang out and sample some of their cookies and enjoy the holiday spirit. So yeah, it's going to be a really fun event. We hope you can come out and join us today.
I know I'm going to make a plan. Kristy, thanks so
Awesome.
much for all this information. It really is so much more than just a cookie walk. It's a cookie
really
party.
Is. It's a fun
Now,
event.
yeah. Does it take place in the cafeteria? Do I have that correctly?
Yes, yep. If you, I will warn everyone, today is also the Black Shirt Wrestling Invitational. So the
that's right.
school is just bustling, and they're in the gym right next to us. So you want to enter at the field house, and you can always stick around and support the wrestlers as well.
And you go in through that right side door, far right side door, which is typically always open, during public access times.
Yes.
And you just go straight, a beeline, right to the cafeteria. It's right there.
Right into the cafeteria.
So you don't have to.
Yep. You'll want to, park in the
So
main
except for the
entrance of
parking,
Penny
you can
Avenue.
avoid a lot of the wrestling traffic coming in.
Yeah, that's
So.
true. Yep, you'll go in the field house doors, and you will be looking right into the cafeteria. And we will have greeters there to welcome you as soon as you come in the door.
Wow, that's wonderful. I can't wait. Yeah. So I hope to check it out. My wife is making
That'd
a
be great.
plan
We'd love
as
to see
president
you.
of the Boosters. She wants to support what you're doing and bring home some delicious
Excellent.
cookies, and we're going to see if our daughter can join us. So,
That would be great. We'd appreciate the
Yeah.
support.
Kristy, I especially appreciate that you like the Pogues, or at least you like the Fairy Tale of New
do.
York.
I do. It's
So-
one of my favorite Christmas songs for sure.
So maybe we can talk to to Mike DeBruin about maybe teaching the kids to do a Pogue song, one of the marching band favorites, or that
There
would
you
work
go.
with marching
that would
band.
Be great. Or
So
we
yeah,
can
I mean
teach
they
the
got a lot of
jazz
horns. They have a horn section in the band, so
They do.
that really could be fun. So
That could be.
I wanted to take this opportunity also, Kristy, to share, since the band's part of the overall the performing arts complex at South, and I learned of some really exciting news about the Black Shirt Players, who made us all very proud at the Wisconsin State Theater Festival with an incredible performance that left both the audience and adjudicators in awe. And there were some members of the talented team brought home some prestigious awards, and we'll get to that later. But from the marching band side, that's got to excite you that there's all these other great things going on in performing arts at Waukesha South.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We have a wonderful band program. We have wonderful teachers. Mr. Mike DeBruin is fabulous with the students. He does a wonderful job over there. My son is in the marching band, and we've really enjoyed the experience thus far. He's a sophomore. It's been a great 2 years.
Can I ask what instrument your son plays?
He's a percussionist, so he plays snare of the last 2 years in marching band.
Wow, very cool. I love hearing about this. And are there members of the marching? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just thanking you again for giving me the time to be on your show this morning.
Oh, yeah, no, this is terrific. I was just going to ask, are there members of the marching band, too, that are also involved in the theater portion of things? Because I know we've got a lot of great students there that do double duty in different
Absolutely. Yes. Yep, there are.
So-
I don't know all of them that are involved, but I know for sure we do have some that are involved in choir, in theater. I know for sure some of our drum majors and our color guard captain, I know for sure are involved in all of those things. But
Wow.
I know there are many more students that I see doing kind of
Sure.
double duty,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So while I have you, I guess this will be the time to announce these awards from the Wisconsin State Theater Festival. Acting awards went to Amalia Waltz, Ryan Weisenberger, Jinx Wasley, Addie Matthew, and Mackay Miller. And then there was I guess the team got the Outstanding Ensemble Award, the Outstanding Technical Award, and the Outstanding Director Award. And then to top it all off, they earned the Critics' Choice Award, the highest honor of the festival. So at this cookie walk, a great opportunity to celebrate not only the marching band, but the Waukesha players. And if any of those folks are part of that, definitely be sure to thank them, congratulate them, and then thank them for the way they honored. This is a state festival, and they came out with all the heavy brass, all the hardware. So, and I know the marching bands
awesome.
had similar accolades.
Yeah, I love seeing that they were recognized. That's awesome. Congratulations to all of them.
Yeah, so it's a great time to be a part of Black Shirt Nation.
Absolutely.
So, any other comment, anything that you can't get off the phone without, people have to know this about the cookie walk when they come today, or if you have a favorite cookie that is going to be on display that, get it while supplies last.
Oh, Boy, oh, there's so many good treats. I don't know that I can pick a favorite. We have a lot of beautifully decorated cookies. I would say I just want to, again, thank everyone who donated cookies, students, families from our black shirt community and from the community. We could not do this without you. And thank you to everyone that comes today and supports Waukesha South. We can't wait to see you, and we appreciate your support so much.
Thank you so much. Kristy Witt, and you're vice president of the Waukesha South Band Boosters. Did I get that correctly? Or president?
That is correct, yes. Vice president. I am vice president.
Vice president. Okay.
That is correct.
Well, I want to thank you again for joining us. I also want to thank Lori for putting this together. Lori Leschman, also from the Band Boosters. And wishing you lots of luck and looking forward to meeting you in person there later this morning.
Okay,
thanks again,
good.
Kristy
I'm
Witt.
watch out for you. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Fantastic. I'll be the one in the T-shirt that says support local radio. And I'll have a Buffalo Bills hat on. So a good plan to make today, if you really want to bring in the holiday spirit, you can catch the cookie walk anytime from 9 to 1. Now, if you're there earlier, well, you can go and have breakfast somewhere, like maybe Dave's in downtown or maybe one of the places close, the Coop or whoever. But then if you're coming later, well, that'll be easier if you're coming later. But I would say after breakfast, you can go back to the cookie walk. And then right at 12 at the Sunset Bowl parking lot, close to Waukesha South High School, bring some canned goods, make a plan before you leave the house. Bring some canned goods of those other items I mentioned for the food drive honoring Brady Caproon. And what a way to bring in the holidays, supporting two great causes, bringing home some delicious cookies and helping some families less fortunate than us eat well this holiday season, and especially for their children. So, and then as I mentioned, Pete Schwab is my guest on the 21st, talking about greatest Christmas movies of all time. I'm working on confirmation from Pat Nettesheim of Music Success about being my guest in on the 14th to talk about greatest Christmas and holiday songs, as well as Waukesha's deep tradition in rock music and music in general. So much more here on this beautiful Saturday morning. That sun definitely is out on Saturday, December 7th. Stick around. Lots to talk about with the Christmas parade coming up and so much more here on This Week in Waukesha on 540 AM, WAUK. And don't forget the Civic Media app.
I kept them with me, babe. I put them with my own. Can't make it all alone. I built my dreams around you. The boys of the NYPD chorus are singing "Go Away, Babe," and the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
Beyond the barricade, is there a world you long to see? Then join in the fight that will give you the right to be free. Do you hear the people sing the song of angry men? It is the music of the people who will not be saved again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there is a life about to summer tomorrow comes. Give all you can give, so that a banner may advance. Some will fall and some
Hey, we're back on This Week in Waukesha. And for any of those fans of the theater, speaking of the Black Shirt Players, that's from Les Miserables. Can you hear the people singing? And again, another one of those songs from hope, or messages of hope, in the wake of an election that many of us weren't pleased with the outcome, but remain hopeful that this American experiment can continue this government of the people, by the people, for the people. And it is a precious thing. No matter how strong our military is or how great our economy is, it can be very vulnerable too at times. And this can best be expressed in today's remembrance. Max, you want to go ahead and cue that audio? Now, anybody my age and up is going to be familiar with this. But let's see if Max
representatives
or the younger folks know much
yesterday,
about it. Go ahead, Max.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. The United States was at peace with that nation, and at the solicitation of Japan was still in conversation with its government and its emperor, looking toward the maintenance of peace in the Pacific. The attack yesterday on the Hawaiian Islands has caused
you can stop it now,
severe
Max. Thank
damage
you.
To American naval and military.
Today, obviously, is the anniversary of the Pearl Harbor attack. And as a Gen Xer, going to grade school in the 70s and high school in the 80s, this iconic speech from President Franklin D. Roosevelt is etched in our memories. It's many of my favorite teachers in grade school or history, social studies teachers in high school would play this audio. A day which will live in infamy. And I remember my 6th grade teacher, when he would play this, he had a lot of those Edward R. Murrow tapes from I Can Hear It Now or I Can See It Now, that series that he had, recalling historic events. But my teacher, Mr. Leonards, would tell a story about when he was working in his father's drugstore. He was like maybe 11 years old when it happened. And at the time, himself, like many Americans, had no idea where Pearl Harbor was. It wasn't on the mainland, but it was an American territory at the time. I mean, obviously, it's the state of Hawaii now. And just the shock that a lot of Americans had, especially with the other side of the planet, the European theater, just up in flames with and basically World War II, and that's what kind of sealed it for us in terms of that we couldn't sit on the sidelines any longer, that our way of life was being threatened, our democracy, and certainly all those servicemen and women who lost their lives in that day are remembered, and obviously a lot of the lessons learned too are very important. The way that Japanese Americans were treated unfairly in the wake of that, and obviously other valuable lessons learned. But many of us have grown up like in the 9/11 era, and maybe that hits closer home because it happened right here in our mainland and in really the center of the universe in New York City there in the Twin Towers. These are things that we should never forget and should obviously appreciate those people that were killed that day, innocent people, as well as those servicemen and women, first responders that made huge sacrifices, even the ultimate sacrifice in those days in defense of our country and our freedoms, and especially this close to the holiday season too. Let's not forget our veterans and our first responders. I learned from a friend from home who, like our family, does a lot of ordering. A lot of Christmas deliveries come via Amazon or UPS, FedEx, whoever that is, USPS, and she leaves out like cases of water, bottled water, some other snacks like trail mix or something for these delivery people. And I thought that was a nice touch during the holiday season. And I think it was something she'd started doing during COVID when that became the main way to receive groceries and whatnot. So, but so yes, going back to the parade here, I'm excited to be marching in it. I was there in 2021, and as I was in that part of the parade at the very beginning, following the mayor, and he was following the county executive. This was the first parade since the COVID crisis had hit, and it started out as a very special occasion, kind of the man in the high castle, where it was I was in that alternative reality where the Christmas parade was a huge success, and there was so much joy and just but excited to be marching in it again, knowing that it's going to be a very different event today, and it has been since, and remembering all those people fondly. It's still that bittersweet, that mixture of emotions, but it's a great show of community spirit that we remain undaunted and that we keep all those lost in our hearts as we march the parade tomorrow. There's 80 participants, not including Santa and Mr. Claus. Or no, I think they're the 80th participant. But lots more to talk about here in the second hour on This Week in Waukesha on WAUK 540 AM and the Civic Media app.
Face of my conscience, coming to an understanding of myself, clear out all the old cobwebs, clean out the old books from the shelf. Well, this song is inspired by good man.
December 7th, 2024. If it's 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, it's time for This Week in Waukesha. I am your host, Don Brown, coming to you live and local from the office of former Alderman Don Paul Brown here in our beloved Banting Park neighborhood. I am joined by the mighty Max Martinson, our producer down in Radio City on Victory Avenue. Max, how are you so far?
Doing pretty good. It's
good. Wide awake,
a little
right?
chilly this morning, but
yeah. I bet I wouldn't know about that, not having left the house yet. It really is a joy.
Hey, just wait until that Christmas party or that Christmas parade tonight, because I used to walk in the holiday light parades back in Baraboo for 4-H, and I remember one year there was about -10 outside, and it was not fun that year.
That always amazed me. We would go to watch because we would have a kid in just about we had every kid marching in it for one for dance, another for Blazers baseball, actually 2 for Blazers baseball at the time. And my friend Janie from the block, Mary Jane Sanchez, who's always on the show, she was here last week when we were on site at Sweet Dreams. And for those who go to the parade, be sure to head over there for a bite before and or after. And make sure you get a Doughboy. If you eat only one pastry this year, you got to get the Doughboy. So glad to have that was a really great experience last week, and so much to talk about. But when you miss these shows, you can go to our podcast page, my podcast page, and it's worth watching. We've had a lot of great programming, a lot of great guests, including, you could say, Max's boss at MATC for the Letters to Santa project they're working on. And that airs a week from Sunday, right?
Yes, we actually have confirmed air dates, so it will be it'll be all 5 shows airing officially, and that will be all back to back on the morning of the 22nd, I believe.
So check that out, and Max, thanks for putting that show together, too, with Aiden West, who coordinates, a classmate of Max's. No relation to Adam West, but of Batman and Family Guy fame. But, Max, what did you do specifically on it, if I could pick on you for a sec?
Yeah, so my role for the show was I was one of the episode producers. So my episode is episode 3. So basically, we started way back at the start of this college semester, basically back in September, when we had our first original idea meetings, and we were planning for what we were going to do for the show. And then we actually had the show, at least I had my show scripted way back in.
Oh, cool.
It was either September or October or somewhere in there.
Nice.
But yeah, we've been working on this project for over the course of the last 3 months, and we were super excited when we finally got the news that we were going to get all 5 of the shows aired. So, and then obviously it's our responsibility as well as the producers to what we've been working on this past week is getting everything edited, because we didn't do them we did them a little bit out of sequence this year, but we've been working on cleaning them up this week, and we're hopefully getting them out the door here early this next week.
That's great. What a great project, too. And it sounds like you guys had a lot of, is it fair to say, some kind of autonomy over your processes? I mean, your instructors maybe give you a little guidance, but it was all student-driven, correct?
It's all student-driven. It is. We do have, obviously, because it is a show that is airing on PBS, we still have to follow FCC guidelines and all of the PBS rules and regulations. But for the most part, like you said, obviously we do have instructor guidance, but when it comes down to all of not necessarily, I don't want to say it like it's a bad thing, but all of the busy work, that all does fall on us. So any of the paperwork we have to do, any of the editing we have to do for it, that is all purely our job.
Fantastic. No, I really appreciate sharing this, too. So, if you missed the first hour, just a quick recap. The Waukesha South Band Boosters have the annual cookie walk taking place at 9 o'clock at the very end of the show from 9 to 1 at Waukesha South High School in the cafeteria. And when you go in, just take that far right door and the field house entrance and just go straight into the cafeteria. You can avoid a lot of that other traffic and noise from the big wrestling meet that's going on that South hosts every year, too. So, and also in the first hour, we have a food drive today in honor of a Waukesha South senior, Brady Caproon. He's described as a Waukesha High School senior because I believe he was at West and then transferred to South. In particular, I believe, so he could play for Joe Bansky's Fusion volleyball team. So can't blame him for doing that. But unfortunately, passed away in a tragic UTV accident on Labor Day weekend. But his spirit is remembered. Here was a young kid who liked doing food drives. That was his passion, one of many passions. And his friends, family members are honoring him with a food drive that takes place today and tomorrow from noon to 4. At the Sunset Bowl parking lot. So a great way to share some Christmas spirit. And we're talking about the Christmas parade that takes place tomorrow, 62nd annual. We had Alderman Mike Chrisien on talking about he'll be marching in it with other members of the council and behind Mayor Riley. And also marched as he shared some great parade memories and what we can look forward to tomorrow with 80 different exhibitors participating. So, but real quick, City of Waukesha posted on social media a message expressing thanks to everyone who came out for the 3rd annual Night of Lights last night that started with the tree lighting. And there's a walk through the street, the lights, there was some caroling, just a great night of events. As the city describes it, it was a great night of community, lights, treats, and holiday spirit. And I was actually hoping to attend, but was talked into going to the Waukesha North-South basketball game at Waukesha North. My father-in-law wanted to go. Our son, his grandson, has graduated. He was on the basketball team. He's a freshman now in college. But my father-in-law wanted to go back because he promised Coach Lee Montez, he'd come back for a couple games to see how the guys were doing. And I got to say, we were very impressed with the overall offense. The defense was solid, the distribution of the ball. Several members of the team scored in double digits. That includes senior Giovanni Perea, sophomore Keegan DeGeorge, and the other sophomore Jordan Garcia. Joe Coast probably had like 4 3-pointers. So it really was a fun. Tyson Teagues and Isaiah Crawford, 2 of their big men that come off the bench, gave some quality minutes on the floor. Big rebounds, a couple points off of rebounds, and you like to see that production from your big men coming off the bench. So I was really pleased with the Black Shirts. They won by well over 26 points against Waukesha North. They lost a lot of players to graduation, so big rebuilding year for them. So, but it was also great to catch up with some friends from North Star Nation too. So, Max, do we have a caller there on hold?
We do. I believe it is Maria.
Oh, yes, Maria. Maria. Hey, Maria, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Terrific. This is Maria Wadina, the Chief Growth Officer at La Casa de Esperanza, who will be marching in the parade tomorrow. How are you this morning?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on the show.
Terrific. And, the timing is fortuitous because I received your annual appeal in the mail. It was either yesterday or the day before, and it's really been a year of great highlights with all the great programs at La Casa, the Weatherization Program, Center for Financial Stability, the Early Childhood Education Program, La Casa Villages 1 and 2, and, of course, the charter school that continues to experience massive growth. But tell us more about it, Maria.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it's really been a fantastic year for La Casa. Overall, our programs are all growing. Our VITA program, which is our Center for Financial Stability, has stepped in. If you remember that SDC in Milwaukee closed at the beginning of the year, right. And they left a lot of people hanging with taxes that were not finished or not completed. So our VITA program, which is our volunteer income tax service, went in and they finished about 800 of those tax returns that were not completed. So we're very proud of that, of being able to step up and do that. And I think it's opening up opportunities for us to, I think here in the near future, have an office in Milwaukee. So excited about that.
Wow.
And our charter school, obviously, like as you know, Don, has been growing. We increased enrollment by over 50 students, so we're now at 315 students for this school year. And we also graduated our first 8th grade class. So that was
nice.
We finally came full circle. That was monumental for us and really history making.
Sure.
We had 13 students graduate. And out of the 13 students, 4 of them are at Catholic Memorial High School. 1 of them is at Brookfield Academy. And 1 of them is at Marquette University High School. And the rest are at all our great schools in Waukesha. I believe most of them are in Waukesha South, and then 1 in Waukesha North. So, yeah, we're thrilled, and the kids are thriving. And
sounds great.
So it's just been a great year.
Terrific. Hey, Maria, do you mind sticking around? We just have a quick break. We'll be back in a minute because I have some more questions, and we also want to talk about what you'll be doing in the parade tomorrow and all the other great things going on at La Casa.
Super.
So if you can... Great, yeah. So if you can stick around, we have more to talk about. We'll also be doing the Carol Minute and a lot of parade coverage here in this second hour and this week in Waukesha on WAUK 540 AM and the Civic Media app.
I know that you can talk about it, oh, get it up, share it out, help who you can, don't just talk about it,
They sold me a dream of Christmas. They sold me a silent night. They told me a fairy story till I believed in the Israelite. And I believed in Father Christmas. And I looked to the sky with excited eyes. Then I woke with a yawn in the first light of dawn. And I saw him and through his disguise.
And that's one of my favorite Christmas favorites. I Believe in Father Christmas by Greg Lake, formerly of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And I have Maria Wadina, Chief Growth Officer at La Casa de Esperanza. And they will be participating in the parade tomorrow. In fact, I have the honor of marching along with them. My wife's a member of the charter school team that's doing great things there. We're 77th out of 80, so saving the best for last. So, Maria, what does being in the parade mean to you for La Casa?
I think it's just such a great opportunity to be out in the community and to, engage with all our community members. We've also participated in the 4th of July parade, and we really want to be out there, and it's a good opportunity for our families in the charter school to also participate. I didn't realize, but there are so many people that love parades in terms of walking them.
Yeah.
We have several employees that are, absolutely love it. So it's just a great opportunity, like I said, to engage with everybody in the community.
Sure. Well, and again, you have so much to celebrate. What really impressed me, well, that it's all really impressive, but La Casa Village 1 and 2 this year collaborated with middle school students from the charter school and launched an intergenerational program that allows seniors and students to socialize, organize outings, events, and parties, and even recording podcasts where students interview senior residents about their lived experiences. I'm a huge fan of this type of programming. I used to do a lot of work with senior centers, which I think are the greatest things ever invented. But some of them had merged to like adding another dimension, which was an intergenerational program. There's so much that our young people can learn from our seniors, and there's so much that our seniors get back from our youth. It inspires them, keeps them active and motivated. And I've seen seniors and middle school students shoot pool together, do yoga together, or work on computers, and of course these oral history exercises. I think it's fantastic. How long has that been going on? Was that new as of this year, Maria?
Yes, that is new as of this year, and it's been such a fantastic program. So we've only met about 3 times with our seniors, and what we started with our own villages. So as it's almost like at a pilot stage where, our dream would be to be able to go out into the community and to other senior centers, like you said, and engage with them as well. But so far it's been, the kids have met with them. It was cute because the last meeting we had, we're trying to, again, let everybody know we're doing this, and we're the ones doing a lot of talking. And at one point, one of the little girls she just said, well, this is the second time we've met, but we really haven't had a chance to talk to the seniors. And I'm like, okay, well, we're going to shut up right now. We're not going to talk, and you guys go ahead and talk. And it was just so sweet to see, and the seniors loved it. And, right now, Don, there's so much loneliness within our senior community.
Yes.
And this is just such a great program so that they both engage. And so what we will be doing in December, we have a trip planned to the museum, to the Waukesha County Museum,
cool.
because none of our
love
kids
it.
have been to it. And the seniors were excited to go because most of them had not been to it as well. I mean, the seniors had so many ideas of what they want to do. They want to go to the lakes. They want to go and learn about the ecosystem in each lake with the kids. And it's as simple as as I was observing everybody talking, the seniors had their phones out. They were exchanging phone numbers with the kiddos. And it was, then the kids were showing them how to use their phones and how to, the different things that you could use with your phones. So just, what a great learning opportunity for both.
It really is. And I think it inspires the students to want to come to school more. Because it starts out, they see an elderly man or woman, perhaps wheelchair bound or not as mobile as they once were. And their initial thought is, this is going to be exciting. But then they find out that the woman they're meeting was a nurse in the Army during World War II, or was active in the civil rights movement, or had her own business, like starting from nothing.
Right.
And then they get intrigued and they want to learn more. And then it kind of tells them about their own lives and what they can be doing and should be doing, or what's possible out there. Absolutely. And I think it creates an appetite to want to learn more, meet more seniors.
Yes, definitely. And I think a lot of our students, some of them are immigrants, and they might not have their grandparents here. So it's an opportunity to build those bonds that, I think that grandparent-child bond is so, I think it's the most beautiful bond, really,
I couldn't agree more.
There is. And I think, that's going to give these kids the opportunity to also bond with someone if they don't have that in their life. And same thing for the seniors. So it's going to be fun. And the podcast, that's going to be a really cool thing where the kids are going to be asking them questions about their life. And what a keepsake for those families, too, for the seniors' families, to have that recording. Yeah. So that's going to be really fantastic to see.
Terrific. Maria Wadina, anything else you want listeners to know about La Casa and about what you're doing in the parade tomorrow that you can't hang up the phone until you get this message out?
You know what? Tomorrow, please come and visit us and wave, and we will be handing out hot chocolate little packets, and
Big score.
Our information will be there. We're really trying to continue growing our school, so I encourage everybody that knows anybody that has children that this is such a fantastic program. We have a dual language program as well in our school that goes, we are adding, it's right now through 5th grade, but we're adding a grade every year, and it will be through 8th grade. But it's such a great opportunity to come and visit our school, come and see our school, and see all the great things that are happening. I mean, we are not going to stop until we're the best school in Waukesha. So, and we're really, it's just such an amount of growth. And I'm sure your wife gets to tell you all the great things that are happening. But, that's the thing that I would like to all your listeners to know, that this is a great opportunity for any child.
Thanks so much. Maria Wadina, Chief Growth Officer, La Casa de Esperanza. She'll be marching in place number 77 alongside the Jolly Giant Stilt Workers, and my wife and I'll be marching alongside. And so much more to talk about here on This Week in Waukesha. Thanks again, Maria, for joining us. We're back on This Week in Waukesha, and I'm sure everyone is familiar with that song, Do They Know It's Christmas, by Band-Aid, the collaboration of artists in 1984. And every 10 years, they come out with another one. That first one, 1984, was to provide relief during the famine in Ethiopia. And that was followed by live concerts in London and in Philadelphia that summer in 1985 called Live Aid. And for me, for the Gen Xers like me, that was our Woodstock. You had all these great artists coming together. In this case, it was 2 venues, but it really was great for the TV audience. I don't think there was a live television audience for Woodstock. So you got to see all the artists live in both venues, Wembley Stadium in London and JFK Stadium in Philadelphia. And a really special event to raise awareness and funds for the famine in Ethiopia. And you've seen a lot of other artist collaboratives, and those are great. And it's great to see those at the local level too. So, time for the Carol Minute. We usually have that in the previous segment, but we had some more catching up to do with Maria Wadina, Chief Growth Officer at La Casa de Esperanza. But at Carroll University, the women's basketball team, which is one of my favorite teams, they started last week, ranked 13th in the country. And then, unfortunately, they lost at Ripon. And then they came back home and lost a tough one to University of Chicago. But then bounced back later this week with a 62-57 win over Carthage, snapping a 2-game losing streak, and then going 1-0 in conference in the CCIW. And then they're back at it again today at the Van Male Fieldhouse, or as I affectionately call the Van Female Fieldhouse, considered one of the most difficult venues for visiting women's basketball teams anywhere in the country. So if you're really looking for a good sporting event to catch, live, local, and very affordable, check out the Pioneer women's basketball team at Carroll today, taking on conference rivals Illinois Wesleyan, 2 o'clock at Van Female. So, terrific. Back to the parade. Again, as I mentioned, there were 80 exhibitors marching in the parade. Starts at 4 o'clock tomorrow. And they asked for the first 2 exhibitors that everyone stand. The Waukesha police crews will be bringing an honor guard. And they'll be followed by what's called the Remembrance Lantern Walk. Again, to remember forever in our hearts those 6 who were killed in the 2021 parade, as well as so many who were injured and victimized. So they'll be followed by the City Waukesha Fire Department. And then followed is the presenting sponsor, Moreland OBGYN, who will be bringing in the Grand Marshal. And I love this. The Grand Marshal are women veterans. And these are some young ladies doing great things in service to our country. I apologize I don't have their names, but maybe we can have them on a future show. And then they'll be followed by Century Companies and Grand Appliance, official sponsors of the event. The City Waukesha snowplow will be coming through. And then they'll be followed by Mayor Sean Riley and the council members. Usually, Mayor Riley is able to join me the morning before the parade these last couple of years. And it's been great having him. This morning he had a family obligation. But we were gracious enough to or grateful enough, I should say, to have my successor, excuse me. Time to wake up, huh, Max? First District Alderman Mike Chrisien. And it was great having him on in the first hour. And it'll be great running into all of them tomorrow. And then the Vietnam Veterans of America chapter, 425. Is following the mayor. We have Judge Jennifer Darrow and Judge Bridget Schoenborn. The Village of Waukesha Fire Department. And then in the 12th spot, the Milwaukee Dancing Grannies. So Bell Ambulance will be there. And then the Waukesha Blazers baseball. Proud to be a part of a Blazers family. The Blazers were the club that Jackson Sparks, the youngest parade victim, killed in the parade. He was a part of that program, and his parents are still very active. His older brother also was in the Blazer program. It's be great to see them. They'll be followed by Lifetime Home Services, and then Carroll University, the GOP of Waukesha County, and State Senator Julian Bradley, Habitat for Humanity of Waukesha and Jefferson counties, the Wisconsin Diamond Dancers, and then Hebrew Housing Services will be coming through. And just taking a quick break from the parade roster here, too, I wanted to speak about another great event that's coming up. It's in Milwaukee, but no reason those fans of college basketball shouldn't participate in. It's called the MKE Tip-Off. It's at Fiserv next Saturday or Sunday, the 15th. And it's kind of like a fight ticket, like a boxing match like schedule. There's 3 games and obviously 6 teams, Division I basketball programs. The first game at 12:30 features our very own University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, UWM Panthers, taking on the Zips of Akron, and that's at 12:30. The second game is Northwestern, just down the road from the Big Ten, taking on Georgia Tech of the ACC. That's at 3 o'clock. And then at 5:30, another Chicago favorite, Loyola Chicago, the Ramblers, will be taking on the Dons of the University of San Francisco in a Jesuit clash. So those are great, having those types of events during the holidays if you're a sports fan, especially a college basketball fan. I know in my hometown in Buffalo years ago, like in the 50s, there was a boxing promoter, from Madison Square Garden, come all the way from New York, and he put together, a ticket just like this, but it featured the 3 local teams that at the time were very prominent Division I college basketball programs, Canisius, Niagara University, and St. Bonaventure. And each of those 3 teams was pitted against teams that were typically ranked in the top 20, good college programs that would also attract a lot of people. And that was always a great event for the city. A lot of hotel nights sold, restaurant seats filled, of course, tickets sold to the event itself, and a great way to promote the city. So I'm really glad Milwaukee's doing this. I think it's a great thing for the area. I encourage people, if you're not doing anything that Sunday, if you're a college basketball fan and if you're a UWM fan, be sure to check out this game. You can go to the Fiserv website to find out tickets. I mean, that's a big thing. I'm hoping that the tickets are pretty affordable. I hope it's not like a March Madness type situation, but because this is a great opportunity for people locally to check out some good college basketball in person. I know the Marquette tickets aren't easy to get. They never were, but in this new era under Shaka Smart, where they're usually in the top 15 or 20 and have gone far into the dance each year, that those can't be easy tickets to get anymore. So, and on future events, you'd love to see Marquette also being one of these headliners. Marquette, UWM, and maybe Wisconsin Badgers. That would be great, having those 3 local or area teams taking on some prominent programs from around the country. So, but this is a very encouraging first start. I'm guessing this is the inaugural, because I never heard of it. But I was also thinking, too, this could be something Carroll University could host in the future with some prominent Division III programs. Invite, 1 or 2 other Milwaukee area D3 programs to participate. The women's program could do it. That would be a great thing for Carroll women, since they're really making their place on the college basketball map. Or the men's program is also coming along nicely. That would really and you could do men's and women's together. Have a whole day or a whole weekend of basketball. And again, you're attracting people from out of town. You have a great opportunity for people to come to Waukesha, spend a day here, watch some great college basketball, and then eat in one of our fine restaurants. And again, if you're traveling from afar, staying in one of our hotels. So, but I was really pleased when I learned about that this week, and I hope I can catch one of these games if we're available next Sunday. But so much going on here, including a Christmas parade that takes place tomorrow, the 62nd annual Waukesha Chamber of Commerce, City Waukesha Christmas Parade. And I believe we left off with the Hebron Housing Services in the 20th spot. Cousins Subs is the 21st spot. Jonathan B., high wheel bicyclist. He's great. I think he's in it every year. The United for Waukesha Resilience Center partnered with NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness. And I'm sure they'll also have some tables or centers located strategically around the parade for people that, especially anyone that witnessed the atrocities that took place in the 2021 parade and never really got the help that they got. And anyone just dealing with mental health issues in general, I definitely check out one of those service tables and learn about the resources that are available that aren't that may even very well be free, but certainly more affordable than I know maybe our current health plans can afford. So the Waukesha Elks Lodge follows them, Lodge 400, and I was always proud to have them in my district when I was a District 1 Alderman. They host some great events there. The wrestling events. I know in the past they've participated in the Winter Jamboree, which we also have to look forward to coming up soon. And great place to rent out for private parties or weddings. So big fan of the Elks Lodge. The Senior Moments Performance Group follows them. Waukesha State Bank, a member of the chamber, follows them. Penguin Pools. Whistles on Wheels. The Tap-In Golf Bar, I believe that's the sports bar there. But so many more. We'll continue with the lineup here in This Week in Waukesha on this beautiful morning on WAUK 540 AM and the Civic Media app. You're listening to This Week in Waukesha, and I can't hardly wait for the 62nd annual Waukesha Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade. I'll be marching in it with the team, the fine team, incredible team at La Casa de Esperanza. And we're the 77th spot. So many before us. So where did I leave off? Yes. So in the 30th spot, you have the Shore West Realtors, Waukesha West. They'll be followed by the Liberty Dance Center, Paul Davis Restoration and Remodeling, Salvation Army Waukesha. And then skipping down a little bit, you got Urban Air Milwaukee West. The Waukesha South High School Marching Black Shirts are the 36th spot, right there in the middle. They'll be followed by the City of Waukesha DPW Snowplow. And then in 38th place, another chamber member, the Maid Brigade. And they're followed by another chamber member, the Learning Experience. In the 40th spot, you have the Catholic Community of Waukesha, the Waukesha Catholic Schools, followed by Infinity Exteriors, Revolutions Twirling Club, Waukesha Kiwanis Club, P-Flag Waukesha, AM Towing, Tabbies, Camp Vertical, and then in the 48th spot, you have the Waukesha West High School Marching Cadets, and they will be accompanying the 2024 state champion boys soccer team. So that's a great way for them to celebrate. And then they're followed by the Ingleside Hotel and Congressman Scott Fitzgerald in the 50th spot. Then there's the Grace Evangelical Lutheran Church and the Waukesha County Community Foundation. 53rd spot, Smoke Ring Barbecue. And this is a good little time to pause. The news, social media had a big call out to Pewaukee native J.J. Watt, accomplished retired pro football player, also a Badger alumnus. Amazing college football career, and his younger brothers are also doing great things, still in the NFL. But J.J. Watt was in Waukesha. I think he was at the Home Depot, and he stopped by the Phoenix Grill food truck, and he liked it so much that later that day, like 6 hours later, as he was flying out on his private plane, probably from the Waukesha County Airport, he ordered takeout from that same Phoenix Grill. They gave him quite the care package, it looked like. I saw it on the TV. But, yeah, it's just a great way for a local celebrity superstar he's still very connected to this community in so many ways. And to shout out a local food truck vendor like that, very cool stuff. So, and I have no problem, happy to repeat it on my show, even though, like I said, there was a lot of coverage on the local news and in social media. So following the Smoke Ring Barbecue, you have the 5-time defending state champion. Actually, no, there's the Waukesha South cheerleading, but it's actually the youth cheerleading that's marching in it. They're followed by TMJ4 News, which will be covering the event on television. The Waukesha County Fair, the Real Property Management, Greater Milwaukee, and then the 58th spot, the legendary Waukesha North High School Marching Band. They're followed by ERA Seniors Network, the Golden Gals MKE, Fox River Sports, the Waukesha County Democratic Party, and City of Waukesha Chamber of Commerce members Mander Collision and Glass and Renewal by Anderson. And in the 65th spot, I know our own Rich Lacasio will be excited. He might be marching with them. The Bruce City Wrestling. I'm sure Frankie DeFalco will be walking alongside them. You got Remax Service First. Chamber members and one of the great anchors in our restaurant, our entertainment community, People's Park. So not only are they on the parade route physically at Main Street, they'll also be marching in it. Witcho for Judge is next. The Butler Chimneys, LLC. LGBTQ Waukesha. Allied Resource Recovery. In the 72nd spot, you have Trinity Lutheran. Waukesha YMCA Adventure Guides. Waukesha County DPW. TNC Small Engines, LLC. 76th spot, my good friend Tyler Pudliner. He'll be right in front of us with Bobbleheads Bring Us Together project. Tyler, as you know, was one of the young men injured in the parade a few years back when he was marching with the South Band at the time. And as I mentioned, 77th spot, La Casa de Esperanza, chamber member, is joining Jolly Giant Stiltwalkers. And then we cap it off with the U.S. Post Office, Reindeer Games, and People's State Bank chamber member will be guiding Santa and Mrs. Claus. So that's going to be it'll be a great hour. A lot of great community players involved there. And I'm sure Jim Santel is in studio there at Radio Park for his show, Amicus Law Review. That's next. Yep, Max has pointed him. And Max, if you could let James know, Jim has always graced us when we were in studio together with delicious pastries from Glorioso's on Brady Street. And I could finally return the favor. Yep, Max is holding out one of those delicious. But next time James and I meet, I'm getting him some Doughboys from Sweet Dreams that I had on the show last Saturday. And I highly encourage everyone, especially the parade dwellers, if you're looking for a sweet snack, be sure to head that out. So, and I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. And we got a really busy weekend. Be sure to check out the Cookie Walk at Waukesha South. It opens up in a few minutes. Great homemade deliciousness from so many volunteers benefiting the band. Be sure to check out the food drive in honor of Brady Caproon, taking place at Sunset Bowl from noon to 4 today and tomorrow. The Lady Pios are on it too. And then, of course, we have the parade tomorrow at 4 o'clock in downtown. So I want to thank everyone for joining us. Again, my guest tentatively is Pat Nettesheim to talk about great Christmas music. Nettesheim, excuse me. Stick around for Amicus Law Review with James Santel. And please remember in this holiday season, safety is everyone's responsibility. Good mental health is everybody's right. Goremil Mahagav Galer. Thanks again, everybody, and see ya!
I can't wait, hardly wait. I can't wait, hardly wait.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.